Senior Minister Teo Chee Hean says early detection and intervention in youths are key in preventing harm from violent extremist ideologies. Mr. Teo adds that the work of the Religious Rehabilitation Group has contributed to Singapore's peace and harmony. It includes counselling and mentoring of youths and taking an upstream approach against extremism.
And in this challenging environment, Singapore's calm and cohesion are powerful blessings that we should cherish and safeguard. The Religious Rehabilitation Group has played an essential role in preserving these blessings for all of us in Singapore.
SM Teo made the remarks at the launch of a book that details the life of the late Ustaz Ali Haji Mohamed. He is a renowned leader in the Muslim community. The book is written by his son, Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Ali, the current chairman of the RRG. The book details Ustaz Ali's rise to become a respected leader and his determination to achieve the greater good for the community.
Ustaz Ali's persistence that the mosque is not only for Muslims seeking spiritual solace, but for everyone, regardless of their backgrounds, to feel cherished and forge lasting friendships. The RRG members, especially the pioneers who have stood shoulder to shoulder with Ustaz Ali, steadfast in their noble mission of rehabilitating misguided individuals.
And for more on this story, I'm joined by Ustaz Dr. Muhammad Feisal Muhammad Hassan. He is Secretary and Counsellor at the Religious Rehabilitation Group. Dr. Muhammad Feisal, welcome to the program.
Welcome, thank you for having me here.
Ustaz Ali set up the RRG in 2003 and the RRG Resource and Counselling Centre back in 2014. Tell us a little bit about what motivated Ustaz Ali to start RRG.
Yeah, I think, Shada, we are going back like 23 years back. So when the first arrest of the Jemaah Islamiyah episode in Singapore, the ISD had met Ustaz Ali and a few other Ustaz to inform them about this issue. Ustaz Ali requested for him to be able to meet with those detained. So the doors of those detention centers were open for him to actually meet with the detainees, to actually see the level of indoctrination that we went through, the radicalization that happened. He was shocked to see that they have misunderstood Islam to the extent that Muslims are not taught such ideas and ideology. So that in a way pushes him in terms of the need to correct the wrong understanding of the faith. Number one. Number two, this issue of them not understanding their roles as citizens of Singapore. So I think that is the second factor that Ustaz Ali realized that he needs to bring about the Asatiza community, the religious scholars, for them to work together, for us to try to rehabilitate the JI detainees then.
As PM Wong said at RRG's annual iftar last year, Ustaz Ali played a crucial role in building trust between Singaporean Muslims and non-Muslims, right? So in what way, how was he a role model to, especially to the current volunteers and teachers at RRG?
I think he's the pioneer to this rehabilitation that we had never understood before. Number one, the issue of dealing with those who are radicalized. Number two, dealing with how do we work closely with the ISD, the government itself. The religious teachers have always been a neutral body within the community itself. So Ustaz Ali created that ability, that infrastructure for us to have an excellent working relationship, at the same time a certain code of conduct within the religious scholars and teachers for the past 20 years until his passing away, which is just 2 years on the day today. So we have seen that he has cultivated a new culture within the minds and hearts and the works within especially the Asatiza community in Singapore towards dealing with this issue at hand.
Pioneering such an important cause, isn't it? As we heard from SM Teo earlier, RRG has played an essential role in preserving Singapore's calm and cohesion. So why is RRG's work so important to all the communities in Singapore?
I think first and foremost, we begin to realize how dangerous radicalization, misinformation, wrong ideas, and the sort of the world that we are in today, the hatred, these have become normalized in that sense. With the work that we are doing at RRG, we emphasize on the importance of peace, the importance of harmony, the importance of appreciating being a Singaporean, living as a Muslim in Singapore fulfillingly, and mixing and interacting with other faiths, with different people, with community leaders, with students, and with other different segments of the community. That itself introduced us as religious teachers into the bigger fold of the Singaporean community itself.
Let's talk about the experiences of the RRG volunteers and teachers themselves. How challenging is it for them to work closely with the ISA detainees to help them understand that they were misguided?
Number one, we are all volunteers, so you start to create a different need within your busy lifestyle to volunteer for such a cause. That itself is a challenge in terms of volunteering your time and space for this. That is number one. Number two, the challenges of realizing that it's not easy to change ideas. It's not easy for those who have been indoctrinated with some sort of radical version of faith or radical version of how they philosophize living in the world. So that challenge has seen us doing rehabilitation, religious counselling for the past 20 years, for more than thousands of counselling sessions among the volunteers.
What are some stories that you're able to recount of RRG's work with ISA detainees? Any interesting ones you can share with us?
There's too many. For some of them you will be able to find in the book that has been written, and also from the several things that when we started meeting them, they would do not acknowledge us as religious teachers. They would look at us as government ustaz, hypocrite ustaz, you know. And then you would meet with community members who would doubt the work that you're doing, you know. This kind of challenges that we face then, these are the kind of stories. But the beauty thing about it is that the continuous counselling, meeting, bonding with the detainees themselves, 80% or more of those who have been radicalized and have been in detention has been released. So we have sort of forged a good bond with them until today, that they are living as Singaporeans.
How interesting. What about the role of social media, right? How important is it for this group of scholars or teachers to know this online platform well, given that that is where most or much of the deviant teachings appear to be from?
Yeah, when we started off with JI, we thought it would end with JI, but then social media came about.
Yeah.
So this was 20 years ago, and then DIY radicals happened. Then we're looking at ISIS and others, and now we're looking at online. We realized that this is an ongoing struggle towards hoping, especially for our young ones, to understand that not everything that they will be able to see in reels and on the internet is something that is knowledgeable or truth. So that is the challenge now. How do we rebut such truth? So RRG, we do community engagement works. So we have learning journeys for school children to visit us at Khatijah Mosque, and we also have engagement programs with different targeted audiences, continuous engagement with them in terms of understanding the realities of information that they are gathering now.
That's very valuable work. Dr. Mohd Feisal, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate your insights and all the best in the work that you do, yeah?
Thank you.
Ustaz Dr. Mohd Feisal, Mohd Hassan there from the Religious Rehabilitation Group.